Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone, my name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant for Cybervenger. Today we're doing another deep dive into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171. Now this standard is required to be followed by anybody doing business with the Department of Defense and other federal departments as well. Today's control, if we take a look down here, is 3.12.2, and it says, develop and implement plans of action designed to correct deficiencies and reduce or eliminate vulnerabilities in organizational systems. Previous control, we talked about 3.12.1. This is all the same family of controls, security assessment. Said you got to do an assessment on a regular basis. We talked about quarterly is probably the right frequency for most organizations. The standard doesn't tell you exactly how often to do that, but whatever number you pick, you should have a justification for it. Anyway, this assessment will likely find some areas of improvement. That's what they want. It's not an opportunity to incriminate yourself. It's an opportunity to improve. Now, you always want to follow the 800-171 as if there's going to be some kind of scrutiny at some point. If there's a cyber compromise, you are legally required to alert the DoD and contract and various stakeholders that a breach occurred. When this happens, they're going to want to see your controls and your paperwork and see what you're doing to see how a control happened, to look at your log, see where the breach was, what compromised, what didn't, that kind of thing. And you're going to be under scrutiny. Even if that doesn't happen, coming down the pike, there is CMMC certification. If you don't know what that is, you want to check out a video on that. That is basically eyes are going to be watching and auditing you. You're going to have to prove that you practice 800-171 to an acceptable level. That's coming down the pike. They're rolling it out one federal contract at a time. At some point down the road, every federal contract will require that you are CMMC certified. When that happens, you're going to have scrutiny. You're going to have eyes on all your controls, all your policies. Everything's going to have to be justified. And the way you justify it, what auditors are going to want to see is they're going to want to see that you're continually improving security. They're not trying to bust you. They're trying to make sure that security is improving all the time and keeping up with our adversaries' attempts to compromise them. They want to see an improvement because right now out there, most manufacturers and most people doing this, the Department of Defense, have not been following 800-171 or anything even close to it. There's a lot of weakness out of it, a lot of vulnerability. We're just scrambling to address it as well as we can, as quickly as we can. So they're kind of in your corner to some degree when it comes to finding things that were wrong and then fixing them. The trick here is to be able to document what your findings are and come up with a realistic priority. Maybe something's critical, maybe something's not such a big deal. I'm going to work with those, you want to solve those problems, those shortcomings in your controls in order of importance. This is just like the previous family went over when it came to risk assessments. We were looking at vulnerability assessments. We were looking for a Windows vulnerability. That's more of a tactical problem. Hey, this vulnerability exists. You need to install this patch and fix it. You want to remediate those in order. Same thing is with your policy. When you're reviewing your policy, you find out, hey, verbally telling people to change your policy password every 9 days isn't actually working. No one's doing that. We need a tactical control to force people to do that. And maybe we need a way, for some reason, we think that maybe that tactical way of forcing people to change their passwords isn't working. We need to audit and prove that they change your password. I don't know, something like that. You can review your controls and find weaknesses and improve those weaknesses. And if you document that that's what's happening, that's what they're going to want to see. You're not showing them that, oh, look, we were bad before we failed. It's not a blame game. It's can we demonstrate continual improvement, because that is the essence of security. Security is not a destination. It's a continual practice. You're always trying to improve. Because believe me, our nation's adversaries are always trying to improve, and they're always getting better at their offense. We have to get better at our defense to match them. And that's what this is really all about. It's about protecting the national interest of our nation. So this is important stuff. It's more than simply profitable. There's plenty of money on the table. So as long as you can show that you have policies and you understand your own policies and how they affect real-world security, and can talk about what weaknesses you found or just ways to improve, or maybe you think something might happen. You've been watching the security environment. Hey, look, bad guys are trying to do this. We figure it someday they're going to come up with AI that can mimic our CEO's voice. So we're going to start looking at controls. We're investigating controls now to mitigate this, to make sure that people can't be tricked on the phone by an AI version of fellow employees. That's a possibility. It's not necessarily happening today. It can certainly happen in the future, and you're investigating ways to improve your security controls. You put that in your report, or you begin to work on that, and they're going to like to see that kind of thing. Again, you always want to do this with the idea that somebody's going to be looking at it in the future. So specifically for this control, just work on the flaws that you find. Work on the potential future vulnerabilities that don't even exist yet. And you want to prioritize them. If you talk about the AI thing, say, hey, this is not urgent. We've got some time based on our investigation, but it's high importance. Then you define that. So you have time, but it's a big deal, so you must throw resources at it. They're going to want to see that kind of thing. And that's just true for any control you have. Is the control what, you relook at the 110 controls of the NIST, are your internal policies and controls, do they match up? Is your interpretation today the same as it was earlier as to what NIST is looking for? And also, of course, NIST itself can change over time. It's a framework they're developing. They're coming out with new versions. I think version 3 just came out. So that's all I got for this particular control. I hope that makes sense to you all, and we'll look forward to seeing you in the next control.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.